Hello. Hey, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, my folks. How's everybody doing this evening? Nobody saying anything to me? Only Tiffany and Latrice is in here. Where's everybody? I see 12 people in the chat, but only 2 people speaking to me. Wow. Wow. Can I get someone to say hello to me? Okay. Hey, Cheryl. How are you doing, sis? Hope you feeling okay today. Okay, let's see. Hey, Michael. Hey, Penelope. Hey, Bree. How you guys doing? How you guys doing today? Nobody's doing okay? What's wrong with you guys? They're not talking? Living life largely? All righty now. Okay. Hey, Miss Lori, how are you? I'm watching you from my TV. Oh, so you had to go to your phone to get to type, or your TV able to type? Are you relaxing today? Guys, I'm trying to wait till my folks get in here. They're late. As the only person here is Misfa. Everybody else is late birds. They just can't get things right getting in here on time today.
And I'm usually the one that strolls in kind of late.
I know, right? I know. I know. They just don't know how to just come on time, do they? They just don't know how to come into regular time. Mm. Hold on, people. Mimi, you supposed to be in here. What are you doing just saying hi to people? Oh, Mayday, thank you, sweetie pie. You always bless me. Thank you, Mayday. You're a sweetie pie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You always pop in here to be a blessing. Thank you so much. Mimi, where are you? Mimi, I'm waiting on you. Hey, Peace Almighty.
Hey Sylvia, how you doing? This is Bullis Gotti. How you doing, Queen?
Hi, how are you doing? Do you want
I,
to?
I'm
Are you coming in to read with us?
yeah. I'll come and chill with y'all. I
Okay,
just want I
do
just
me.
wanted to say this, Sylvia. So salute to you and everything that you do on the platform, because you know I enjoy watching it, and free Rob.
Oh, thank you so much. Question: do you want to read? Because if you do, can you send me an email and I'll send you the transcript to read?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. Here's my email. Hold on a second. Look in the chats. 1565@gmail.com.
Okay.
Hey, Mimi. Okay, there go my email right there.
Okay, I'm about to email you.
Okay, and I'll just send you the transcript.
Hello.
Hey, Mimi. Oh, everybody on here don't know what page we're on. Where's
I think we were on 1190 something. I think.
So Peace Almighty, can you play Canic for me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Who am I playing?
You are going to play the judge.
Oh,
Yeah, you're playing the judge. Because you know, Judge Rhoda is not here on the weekend, so I have to have somebody to play the judge when she's not here.
okay.
I just emailed you, Sylvia.
Okay, let me check.
I'll just let everything slide.
Ooh, it didn't come through. So you did sparks1565@gmail.com? SPARK.
Hmm. Yeah.
There it is. There it is. All right, gotcha.
I'm not sure, but I believe we were at 1195.
1195. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do both of them. So just in case you come in for the 25th. So the first one, the 24th, is the one I would like you to read. Okay,
Okay.
the one that has the 24th. I just send it.
Okay.
What page are we on?
I think it's. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it was 1195, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Did you get a piece?
Yeah, I see it. I see both parts.
Okay, just the one on the 24th one, and it's a page 1195, and you're going to play Canic. So any line that has the Q is what you're going to be reading. You're going to be reading his questions to her. You and that bus over there, Mimi.
Oh, really? Let me give me 1 second and let me close the window. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you guys can hear it. Give me 1 second.
Well,
Is that better?
yeah, I'm cool.
I'm
Nice.
so sorry. Okay, sorry.
Hey, Unique Thought. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Shannon. Pretty Brown Eyes. Laquita. Taz. Miss Lori again. Morning Mayday. Thank you again, Mayday. Staying safe. Mimi. Of course, I see you. Michael. Sugar Baby. Okay, guys, y'all ready? I'm going to open up. Oh, well, let me go ahead and open up mine so I can show. Okay, guys, the reason why I end up not showing throughout the whole time because I have to be ready if somebody has to go in and out and all this kind of stuff. So that's why. Now, those who are still looking for transcripts, send me an email. And just 1 second. Because I know some people like to follow along. And the only thing I do ask is just give us a small donation if you want all of them. We're not charging like the way before. It's just that it's a lot of paper. Okay, 1 second. All right. But if you read, you get to get the transcript for free. You don't have to do a donation. So it's a benefit to reading. All right, guys, here we go. You said 1195, right?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's where we left off.
You remember what line?
I remember we left off because the page before that, it was just the court talking, Canic.
So Sylvia, that's page 24, right? Sylvia?
1194. If you guys look at 1194, it like.
So 1194.
But there's a possibility.
Yeah, and I believe we were starting at 1195. I'm sorry, I didn't write it down.
Okay, 1190. Let's just start with 1195 because it was when everybody comes in. Okay, so 1195, which is page 190 on the top part piece. So 1195 in the corner, but if you do page 228 of 190 of 228. Oh, Candy Cane is here. Hey, Candy Cane.
Hi, sorry, I've been waiting and I just suddenly looked at my phone and saw your message. I'm sorry. If I'm late, I'll wait backstage. It's fine.
No, just stay here. Like if I would need the clerk,
Yeah.
and all the extra spots, if you
Yeah.
don't mind. Okay.
No, whatever. That's fine. Which indictment is it, Sylvia? Which?
Pay the August 25th. I mean 24th, right, y'all? 24th.
Oh, what we had yesterday.
The 24th, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Oh yeah, Candy Cane, do you remember the page we left off on?
Last night.
It 11? Yeah. Was it 1195?
Yeah, we just do 1195 because Pretty Brown Eyes.
I can't remember. To be honest, I just find
it is because it was a time when it was taking a break and they coming back from break. I remember that much. So it's 1195.
Right, so it's just, don't know. Come on, let's find this.
All right, yeah, you guys ready? Because I think everybody's ready in the chat.
I'm ready.
All right. I think it's you take it over, Miss Caddy Kane.
Oh, Sylvia, I'm sorry, I haven't got it in front of me. I'm just looking for it. Can someone just do the first few lines and I'll find it? I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry about this. So it's 25, not what we were reading last night. That's 24th, wasn't it?
It was 24th.
Are we
And
still on the
it's page
24th?
1195.
On the 24th still?
Yes.
Perfect. Right, 1 second, please. I've got it. I can pick it up from there. What?
All right, Court, you can go ahead and where's my Gettys? What happened to her?
Oh, sorry. Sorry about this. I'm just got on it. I'm just getting the pages now.
Guys, we're sorry. Just trying to get everybody in place.
Sorry, Mimi, what page number again? 11?
95.
Right, 1195. Sorry, 2 minutes. 2 seconds. 1195. Right, just almost there. 1195. Come on. Right.
All right, go ahead. Miss Fuck, go ahead. Start. Line 2.
All right.
Line
Line
2.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can have a seat. All right. Shall we get the witness?
Candy Cane.
Sorry, I've just got it. What line, Sylvia? Sorry.
Do Geddes and everybody else because we don't have Henny here.
Right.
Number 4.
Number 4. May I ask one thing?
Let's wait for the defendant.
You wanted to raise something under Rule 613B. Before the defendant is permitted to offer evidence of a prior inconsistent statement, it states that the witness must be given an opportunity to explain or deny the statement, and the adverse party is given an opportunity to examine the witness. So the government asks that before the statement is admitted, that the witness be able to explain or deny the statement.
So there is right there. They showing that there is an inconsistency. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Court.
Well, I don't know I don't know that that has to happen on cross-examination. You mean before?
It says prior to its admission into evidence. It's Rule 613B.
Wow.
It's admissible only if the witness is given an opportunity to explain or deny the statement, and an adverse party is given an opportunity to examine the witness about it. I don't know that. I mean, maybe I'm revealing my ignorance, but I don't know that the defendant has to do that on cross. I just think she just has to be given an opportunity to explain it, which I'm going to give you. Am I wrong about that? I
Yeah.
mean, how do you not know that as a never mind. I mean, I've been at this a little while, but I don't. Maybe I just have forgotten. No, you didn't. But I think if there's an inconsistency with counsel, which counsel has identified, which to me sounds like an inconsistency,
Mm-hmm.
he's shown out of the presence of the jury, has shown or had her listen to whatever the statement is, and then it is an she just needs to be given an opportunity to explain it. That don't make no sense.
Wow.
Wow. Right.
I'm not sure that he has to give her that opportunity.
No, he doesn't.
But he's going to he's admitting the evidence now.
Well, I'm not going to admit it until the end. Isn't this how it works? How do you not know?
Wow.
I thought he was going to play it now.
Can it? Peace.
Yes.
I'm having a senior moment. I don't think it's not in evidence.
No, you're 19. You're 19.
Who? I'm the court, right?
Yeah.
I'm having a senior moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm having a senior moment. I don't think it's not in evidence. He's confronting her with it, which this one just happens to be unusual because it's a tape recorded statement that the jury will hear. But if he confronts her with another inconsistent statement, the statement comes in. I think, I mean, it sort of doesn't matter because the jury is not going to hear it until you've had the opportunity to do all of those things.
What?
She was real confused today.
Yeah.
Candy?
That was my intentions, Your Honor.
No, wait. It's Miss Getty's.
Oh, okay.
Wine.
Candy
If
cane?
that's the case, then there's not a problem. But my understanding is that he was going to play it now. If that's not the case,
That was my intentions, Your Honor.
But it's still not in evidence. I mean, it's just like anything else. It's like this has been happening basically with everything that counsel has shown her. He's shown her a statement. He said isn't it true that you said X? Now, what you could do, I think maybe what you're asking me to do is say, isn't it true that you said X at the prior occasion without playing it? And maybe that's the way to do it.
but I really just want her to be given an opportunity before it's played for the jury. And
I think this is a lot of
I'm trying to unplug.
drama over nothing, quite frankly. I think perhaps the way to do it is to ask her, at the break, you were played. Isn't it true that you said X without playing the thing? I mean, it is true. When you're doing prior inconsistent statements, you don't read the whole thing into evidence. I think the difficulty that everybody is having is just the form that it's taking.
Right. And because it's on audio, but everything she said in this video. She was confronted with thorough cross examination.
I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing that to torture you. I really can't hear you. Yes, you can.
No lunch. Everything that she said during the audio, she was confronted with on cross examination, but that she gave a prior notion statement, and she gave even no, and she even gave it doesn't matter. She gave prior, and she gave inconsistency statements with that on her direct examine as well, but we confronted her about it on cross examination. And now we want to show the jury a prior inconsistency statement.
But I don't think she's been asked about the statement yet. You just played it for her now.
But she was asked about.
Let's do this because I think we're taking up too much time with this. Let's start asking her, and I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage just because I didn't hear what it was. Ask her the classic, do you have an opportunity to listen to? Did you have an opportunity to listen to whatever H and I?
Okay,
Isn't it true that you said X?
I have to find my notes of it. I know what you want.
Yes, just do it the regular old way and then you don't play it. If it's an inconsistency and she denies it, then it comes into evidence. I think once you've had a chance to explain it.
Okay,
Okay.
I feel like I'm in evidence class again. You missed it the first time.
Are we ready to bring?
Let's start getting the jury. Well, let's wait until she gets in here. Let's get the jury, please. So just to be clear, we're talking about extrinsic evidence. That's what the rule applies. So that's whether I actually admit it into evidence. He can still cross-examination her about it as impeachment.
right.
I feel somewhat better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. That one's on me. We were trying to resolve an issue here, but I think it moved things along a little bit. All right, Mr. Canick, go ahead.
Yes. Now, you testified earlier on direct examination that you were on the Gayle King show.
Pardon me?
You testified earlier on a direct examination that you were on the Gayle King show, the documentary.
Gayle King, he's saying.
Yes.
Oh, that was me.
And on that show, you stated that your parents told you to lie. Am I correct?
I did, yes.
And at that time, you gave that interview. You said Robert was in the apartment.
It was a hotel, yes.
And his lawyer was there as well. Am I correct?
I don't recall.
You don't recall Mr. Greenberg being there.
No.
Do you recall his manager being there?
No. I believe he had his spokesperson.
Do you recall that person's name?
No, but he did have dreads.
I don't know who that is. I didn't hear you.
He had dreads like
I want to go back to when you and Robert would go out. And all of the girlfriends, he would open a door for you.
yes.
He would, and you and the others would not even move until he got around to the other side of the car to open a door for everyone. Am I correct?
What do you mean? The vehicle are you referring to?
Any vehicle. He would open a door if he was in the vehicle with you.
Yes.
Okay. And when you came into the room, when women came into the room, he would stand.
Yes, He what?
He would stand up when women came into the room.
He would?
He would stand up and women came into the room.
Can you rephrase that question? I don't understand what you're asking.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's in evidence as defense exhibit O. You wrote that you told us earlier.
Yes.
Could you read the highlighted portion? The portion highlighted in yellow.
Both sections or just the first?
The first section.
Okay. My mother drove me to R. Kelly's show in Jacksonville at 10 or 11 p.m., 4 hours from our current location, knowing we wouldn't arrive until about 2 or 3 a.m., well after the show was over, at the age of 17.
I'm going to ask you to look at what's been omitted. No evidence as defense exhibit P, and ask you to read from the highlighted portion from the top all the way down.
I don't think P is in evidence yet.
P is something you wrote.
Yes, sir, it is.
Your Honor, I'm offering.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, that's an evidence.
Can you read from the yellow highlighted begins?
She also be sending him pictures of me in crop tops and tight clothes, pretending to be me. I had no idea she had already been texting him, acting like me. But once I found out, I continued to just go along so they wouldn't be upset with me. My parents told me to tell him I sang and danced, so I sent him a video of me doing both. They told me what to wear, which ended up being a crop top with tights. When they watched me as I made the video and said nothing about it. I first met R. Kelly. The first time I met R. Kelly, I told my parents where I was, the hotel I've been in, and once I got there after 30 minutes, they planned to call the police. The police asked my age. I told them I was 18. They checked my ID and saw nothing.
Okay, could you read the last paragraph a little slower, please?
Yes. The first time I met R. Kelly, I told my parents where I was, the hotel I've been in, and once I got there, after about 30 minutes, they planned to call the police. The police asked my age. I told them I was 18, then checked my ID and saw nothing.
Now, I'm going to show you what's been marked as defense for identification. Do you recognize it?
1 second. Yes, I do.
That's something you prepared, and am I correct?
Correct.
There's some handwritten notes on the side of it. Am I correct?
Yes.
You wrote those, am I correct?
1 second. Yes, I did.
I'm offering your honor defense.
Any objection?
May I see?
I'm going to change the marking on this, your honor, to R.
R. Okay.
So you are going to remark this an R?
Yes.
No objection.
Okay.
I want you to slowly read. Well, I'll first ask a few questions.
Okay.
That's a letter you wrote. To whom?
I wrote this letter to the defendant.
Could you speak a little louder, please? A little bit louder, please.
To the defendant.
And you wrote this letter to him after you had separated from him, as you explained this morning. Am I correct?
Yes.
And what is it that you called him at the beginning of this solution at the beginning?
Hey, Bear.
And could you read it for us?
The entire thing or what's just highlighted?
Read the entire thing. Read it slowly.
Okay. Hey, Bear. So, because of the circumstances that we're under, it's hard for me to do anything without talking about you, yet still supporting you. I know you personally don't want to speak about our private life, and neither do I. So, because of that, I would have to support you privately and not publicly. But right now, I am still attached to you. But in order for me to have my own name, image, brand, and business, I would just have to be just me, not Jane, the girlfriend, luckily.
Judge,
All right, go ahead.
May I approach the witness?
Yes.
She can continue, Your Honor.
Yes.
Luckily, we talked about this act the last visitation. Nothing changed. You have your reasoning, and I have my reasoning. We left on a good note as friends who support one another and will always love, and I will always love and support you, Bear. And you know me, I'm going to still check people from time to time because I still love you. But for the most part, I just wanted to let you know because I know things don't always go the way we plan it. I love you and I wish I was in Chicago, but it's going to stay this time until you give everyone a clear understanding in our household or not. I would have thought after your first visitation that would have been the first thing you fix, but apparently not, which is also fine. But just know I am always here. I have no bad feelings, Bear. At the end of the day, you know my word. More importantly, I know my word. And just don't want to be in an environment where there is no clear understanding, something you have the power to fix. I can only tell you I can't force you to do anything and vice versa, but I will definitely continue to write you and send you pictures there. I love you so much. And just know everything from this point out is all politics, no matter what. I will always be respectful of myself and you will never, ever see me doing anything to hurt you, Bear. I just want to make you proud and I want to make you happy for me more than anything. Me and Boogie miss you so much, and I wish I could see you at the visitation. Canic?
Kennick. Peace.
now
You
this
muted.
letter was written by
Oh,
you.
oh, oh, I'm muted. Oh, thanks. Oh, sorry about that. Let me read it again. Now this letter was written by you to Mr. Kelly months after you had separated from him. Am I correct?
Not months after, no. That's not accurate.
When was it written?
It had to have been immediately after I left him.
And you said you left in October of 2019.
Yes.
And when you said immediately. You are talking to the next day. The next day.
No, meaning that it would have happened within those months because by January, I had no more communication with him.
Girl is a
Now,
liar. Oh my God. Sorry.
now before October of 19, there was a separation between the two of you. Am I correct?
That is correct.
I'm sorry. The jurors are indicating they can't hear you. I'm sorry, Mr. Cannon.
I'll move it closer.
I don't think it's on.
It's on. I think it's the battery.
Let's see if we can get it fixed.
You now you testify that you don't have a recollection as to the date that you sent that letter.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm going to show you something to see if it refreshes your recollection. Do you see the date on that document?
I do.
Does that refresh your recollection as to the date you sent this letter to Mr. Kelly?
I don't recall sending that form, that location.
This is your handwriting,
Yes, that is my handwriting, correct?
and that handwriting is on the envelope. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, that's an envelope addressed it to Mr. Kelly.
Yes, sir.
And the date on that envelope is December 2nd, 2019.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach and see if the witness has Q?
Yes.
Do you have any documents here?
No.
Your Honor, I think this was previously marked, but if not, defense Q for identification.
Okay.
Could you look at Q and see for identification and see if you recognize it? The front portion, please.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do.
Is that something that you prepared?
Yes, sir, it is.
I offer this defense Q.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, that's an evidence.
Could you read it to the jury slowly, please, and loud?
Where would you like me to stop?
Stop at the end of the first page.
Bear, you remember Bambi?
You have to read it louder, please.
Bear, you remember Bambi? Oh, Bambi, I won't lie. If I weren't in this spider web of mine, if grandfather never had 7 wives, then, darling, you would be the love of my life. Oh, Bambi, it's my design. To run the jungle, I must be a lion or be a cheetah, but neither is fine. Don't want to hurt my dear love of my life. Bambi, Bambi, my dear, my dear, my dear. Bambi, Bambi, my dear, my dear, my dear. I want you there. I want you here. Bambi, don't get too near, for there's lions. Beware. We used to love that song. I just keep thinking of all of our memories when we first recorded me devouring McDonald's, laughing out loud, and we first met, and when we first went to the big house. And I said, I want to be where you want to be, and how I used to be happily wait for you to come home from meetings when you used to buy like $500 worth of red lobster laid out all over the piano room. I remember you played the piano and it was just me and you when you carved our initials into the table and when you used to stop for me and call.
Read the other side.
You call me FaceTime. I wish things could have stayed exactly like that, but it's okay, Papa Bear. Everything happens for a reason, and I know we will get out of this. I know, leave you, Jamie's. Can't wait for us to listen to Caribbean music again, and I'm going to learn that boxing dance you do.
Stop there. When did you send this to Mr. Kelly?
I don't recall when.
This was after the separation between the two of you. Am I correct?
I believe that these were when I was with the defendant.
Beg your pardon?
I believe that was written when I was with the defendant.
Where were you at the time when you wrote that?
I believe Trump Towers.
And he was not there. Am I correct?
No, he was not.
Okay. And you were asked earlier this morning by the government about viewing the Lifetime documentary. Remember, the government asked you that.
Correct, yes.
And this was written after the Lifetime documentary. Am I correct?
I don't believe that it was accurate.
Do you know what year the Lifetime documentary was written, was shown?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't keep up with it.
Okay, but can you categorically that was written before the Lifetime document?
Objection.
I think your jacket might be. All right. And,
We can't hear you.
oh, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, okay. Hold on. What was that? Okay. So overruled. I think your jacket might be obscuring your microphone. All right. It's just harder to hear you. That's all.
I'm sorry. Could I have that last question and answer? Documentary.
Which one are you referring to? Because there are a few.
You said which one?
I wonder if it's better to just direct her to a date, Mr. Cannick.
Yes.
You mentioned this morning on direct examination that you were asked specifically about a Lifetime documentary. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir, I do.
And I'm asking you, did you write that letter before or after the Lifetime documentary?
I don't recall when the Lifetime documentary came out. There were multiple.
Multiple on Lifetime?
Yes.
Okay, now but the letter that you read just short while ago, the letter was written, you said after October 2019. Am I correct?
I said that?
Are you referring to
It is Q.
Defense Q7?
No, not Q. R. I showed you an envelope, right? I showed you an envelope.
Right.
And this was a letter from the envelope. Am I correct?
Correct.
And that envelope had December 2nd, 2019 on the back. Am I correct?
Yes.
And it's your testimony to us that you do not recall when the documentary was. Is it Surviving R. Kelly?
The defendant was still at Tom Towers when that was released.
And my question now,
Those letters were written when he was no longer there.
there's no question before you right now. Now, going back to during the break, you listened to an audio recording. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
And in that audio recording, you spoke about communication with your family. Am I correct?
Yes, I did.
And in fact, you said that I understand and I respect that completely, but I feel like for me, where is it was hard, so hard for me, and why I continue to not have communication with my family is because this Lifetime documentary stuff just happened within the last 2 years. And then I've known, I knew where these last 2 years, I am sorry, I'm just trying to get within the last, and I'm going to start again, Your Honor. I continue to not have communication with my family is because this Lifetime documentary stuff just happened within the last 2 years. And then I've known these last 2 years, you hear, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, this is happening. I just feel like now, how can you be so obvious to the years that I was okay and just now, oh my God, I need to know where my daughter is at. She's this, she's that. I need to make sure she's okay. I've been okay for 3 years prior. That where I drew my line because at that time, at that point, I was an adult. At that point, I felt like I was okay. So believe I was okay. So to believe something like that is so extreme, so bizarre, so outrageous. I just couldn't even fathom my parents believing something as bizarre as that, and I really couldn't. That what was you by you in that audio.
Yes, sir.
And this audio was made when?
I believe the audio. I actually don't recall when the audio was made. Sorry.
Do you have an approximate as to when that audio was made?
It could have been anywhere from October to January.
Of what year?
October of 2019 to January of 2020.
And you were speaking with your father in that, correct?
Yes.
And then you go on to say things didn't go right. My communication slowed down because at that point I was an adult. You said further, I would call you guys 4 or 5 times, 5 or 4 months, 4 or 5 months at a time. When I would call you guys would be yelling. You would be, you guys would be cursing me out. Mama would be yelling at the top of her lungs. And so, what do? I would say, I'm going to give you about 4 to 5 months, and hopefully, you just miss me so much that you just want to talk to me and open your arms. And eventually, it got there. Further said that you are not checking in every day.
What was that last thing? I'm sorry.
You said, so let me ask you this. Before graduation, I was not even checking in every day. Then you go on to say, now maybe like once a week, every 2 weeks or so, I would call y'all. You go on to say, Robert would ask me to call you guys. And no matter what city we were in, he would say, is this your father's number? Or is this your mother's number? And I was, and it would say, call me. And I would say, that is my father's number. He was like, you need to call him. And I would say, I'm not going to call him because at this point, the only thing I get is bickering every time I pick up the phone. So if I avoid it, if I can enjoy myself in this nice little penthouse while we're in New York for the weekend, I am going to enjoy my weekend. It was from suffocating because I was an adult. And at the end of the day, period, I am not obligated to answer. Anyone going to know that you are my father, but I'm not obligated. Then you go on to say, anyone who thinks that I'm brainwashed and not know a smart, I'll try again. Anyone who thinks that I'm brainwashed and not know smart enough to make my own decisions, I just feel like that determines how you know their mentality. Robert, our conversation that I had with him in Chicago, you know, he inspired me and told me, Bear, just do what you want. Do what makes you happy. He told me to continue to pursue my dreams, to pursue whatever I want to pursue. And that's really all I want to do. And when you're mentioning Bear, there, you're mentioning Mr. Kelly. Am I correct?
Yes.
And that's what you said that he told you at the last conversation you had.
Objection.
I didn't hear the last part.
That's what you said. And he told you at the last conversation you had with him.
Is that true? The objection is overruled.
What do you mean by the last question?
You testified, you said here in your conversation to your dad that that was the last thing that Robert said to you when you guys spoke. When you guys spoke in Chicago the last time.
That was not true.
So that wasn't true. You told a lie.
Yes.
Robert wasn't around then. Am I correct?
He was not. No.
And you posted this on social media.
I did not. No.
Do you know who posted on social media?
It was a friend of the defendant's.
A friend of the Robert?
Yes.
Okay, but the defendant, Robert, was with you and your dad when you made this tape.
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
This was a tape that you and your dad made. Am I correct?
No, this is not.
You and your dad participated in it,
Yes.
and you had a back and forth exchange. Am I correct?
It was an interview. Yes.
And you said all the women that have been associated with Robert, I feel like this is me personally. Once they saw him as a celebrity, not as a human being. They didn't not meet him at church. They were infatuated with him, with that celebrity. And because of that, I feel like a lot of them just baited him because of that, because of who he was, because of the life and that he had, because of the life that he could provide. And a lot of them talk about how badly they were treated, but they don't talk about the shopping sprees, the hair, the nail salon, and the great times that you had at dinner. You were spending money and splurging. You were as happy because one thing, Robert, he was very giving, and he was a very giving heart, and there's no way whatsoever that he has a reason to keep you kidnapped or tied you up or hold you against your will. That's what you said in that interview, right?
I did say that.
Okay, now you also wrote a letter to your father. I'm going to show you what's been marked as defense. May I speak with the government?
Sure.
Your Honor, for the record, Defense Exhibit Defense S for identification. There are multiple letters in a pack.
Okay.
Canic,
Can you look through those, please?
excuse me? You said all of these were to my father?
Just read through them and see if you recognize them.
Okay.
Your Honor, can we have a moment at sidebar while the witness is reading?
Sure. First of all, we've got to help you out with your microphone. I'm not trying to throw you off your game, you are, or anything. But the thing is, the court reporter can't hear you when it goes off. And I can't always hear you. And so I'll talk to Donna to see if we can get something that works a little better.
Okay,
But I know it's annoying to constantly be told we can't hear you. And I'm not trying to do that.
I know, Judge.
So this is a text message from the witness to whom it is, and to whom is it written?
I have to find out from her. We just found it.
I think that it is a post potentially written by her. It may well have been written by her. My only objection is I don't think she ever testified that she was held against her will. Wrong person. You need to stop. And by introducing it, it suggests that this is like some big gotcha moment. She just never said she was held against her will.
It is clearly relevant. The only thing I'm concerned about is I really don't want to hear. I really don't want her. Can we
Get her name out?
take the name out? Yes.
Right.
But if defense counsel said you weren't held against your will, she would say no. I wasn't held against my will.
No, but I.
Okay. But tenor of that,
Yes.
the tenor of the case is that, I mean, I'm assuming the theory of the government's case is that she did not feel free to leave, whether it's psychological control or, and I mean, I'm assuming your expert is going to talk about the features of young people in these situations. And I'm assuming your expert could explain what this is, but he is entitled to put it in. But
Yes. Oh,
can we please, I really would like, can you cover that?
yes. I won't even introduce it today because I am about to ask you for a favor. I am worn out.
I know, that's fine. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another little issue that we have to resolve. And I think given the time, it probably makes sense for us to break today. We are still on a good path. Don't be concerned. So we will stop for the day. Please don't talk about this case at all. Don't read anything that might be reported on it or watch anything or look on social media or look up the case at all. But do have a good and restful night. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time. All right. Have a great night.
May I get the documents back?
Sure.
Thanks.
And you can take the witness. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. I think you are going to make those adjustments to that exhibit.
Yes.
And then, as I ask everyone every night, do you have a feeling of how much longer you might be?
I'm hopeful that we'll finish with this witness right near the break point.
Okay. And then I know, will you have some redirect?
Okay.
Oh, just a general reminder, Judge Donnelly's trial advocacy class, we don't have to go over all the points that were made on direct examination, but I'm just throwing that out there as a general tip.
Okay.
But I assume you will have some certainly. Gettys? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, which is fine. And then, do you have a sense of whether you have longer witnesses tomorrow or shorter witnesses?
We definitely have shorter witnesses than the one that's currently on the stand.
Okay.
We will take a look at our schedule and determine who it makes sense to call tomorrow.
Okay. Also, and I think I said this before, just to the extent, and I really don't like to put people on the spot about this, but just to the extent that there's no dispute about certain pieces of physical evidence, if there are things that you can agree on so we can move things along a little more quickly, I think that's to everybody's benefit. I understand that you may have other things on your mind than sitting down and figuring out what evidence you agree on. But if you can do that, that will probably speed things up a little bit. Anything else that we have to talk about today?
Your Honor, if we might, could we just have a brief sidebar to address an unrelated issue to today's witness?
Yes.
The government, as I've indicated to counsel and to the court, intends to call a witness from the Loggins law firm where
Right.
Miss Pace initially provided that cell phone and the t-shirt to further establish the chain of custody. The two witnesses who are available to do that are insisting that they cannot travel to New York because of the pandemic. I am prepared.
Doesn't one of them have like 100-year-old mother? I don't know where I read that. Why are you bringing it up then?
Oh, yes, you saw that email that was sent to me.
Yes.
Yes. So to the extent that counsel, my understanding from at least initially from defense counsel is that they were not going to agree to allow this particular witness to testify by video, and we were prepared to seek other avenues. However, I do think that it would probably be easier to simply have her testify by video. The reason why we need to address it now is that it's my understanding that she is traveling internationally on the 28th, and I don't want to lose her before she leaves.
Your Honor, could you give us another? I can't make a decision. If you give me an opportunity, maybe we can. If you, if the marshals hold him for about 5 or 10 minutes, we can have some discussions to see whether or not we can.
Because if not, I am going to prepare to have prepared a material witness warrant, which I am going to ask Your Honor to sign because I have to do it before the 28th.
I guess it's too late to do a Rule 15.
I think realistically, I think honestly, it would be better just to have her testify by video.
Video?
Of course.
And it's effectively the same thing.
I mean, just in terms of you'll have your conversation. Do you want me to ask him to hold them? Do you want me to ask them to hold him?
Yes, please.
All right. We have just been having just really scheduling questions. I know that there are some witnesses who may be traveling here from other places since we have the Delta variant and the situation in New York has become more difficult. I know there is some concern about witnesses that might have to travel. Having done this a few times by video, it is actually somewhat more efficient. And if the parties can agree on witnesses who may not be the key to the case, let's say having them testify by video, I think that's really to everybody's benefit. I know there is one witness who is reluctant to fly in from Florida, which I think we all agree is quite a hot spot, and that person has obligations to an elderly person to that make the person unwilling to travel. I'm going to encourage the parties to try to agree upon that. I don't think there is any benefit to forcing the person to come up here. I don't know what the person's vaccination status is, and I really am reluctant to subject the people in the courtroom and the jurors to somebody who is coming from a hot spot, and we don't know what their vaccination status is. Like I said, I don't think this is the key to the case. I think this is a tangential witness. It's possibly a witness that you could stipulate to. And so I'm going to just suggest that you do that. How many witnesses are we talking about that are in this position of?
There are 2 witnesses who are in this position. There are a few additional witnesses whose testimony will be very, very short, and it will be great if we could either reach a stipulation or allow them to testify by video, just to save everybody the trouble of having to fly to New York for 7 minutes of testimony.
Well, and I don't know what the witnesses are testifying about. I think everybody should be mindful of the fact that we've got jurors here that are giving up, as jurors do in every case. But if there's a way to not, I mean, I don't know who the witnesses are. I don't know who the witness is, but if it's somebody who is going to testify about business records or something, that is a waste of time. That is something that you should really be able to stipulate. I can't force you to stipulate to it, but I don't think it's in anybody's interest to have a bunch of boring witnesses come on that you are really not disputing. So I'm going to direct the parties to make their best efforts to come to some kind of an accommodation, either by stipulation or by video. And we are in a little bit of uncharted territory here in terms of what the court can order under these with the pandemic like this, but I really don't see why you wouldn't agree to that. I don't know why you would want to bring somebody in here from a hotspot who we don't know what their vaccination status is and all of that. So does anybody else need to be heard on this?
The government does not.
Okay. This happens in trials all the time, and you seem to have been getting along pretty well, and it just seems to be a reasonable accommodation. So I think that's all.
I think that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Line 15.
I got it right here. Okay, Your Honor, I would just ask if we be given an opportunity that the marshals are accommodated us, that we be given 5 minutes that we can start discussions.
Yes, I think they've agreed graciously to do that. I do want to thank the marshals for their help and hard work during the course of this trial. All right, so yes, and so thanks for doing that. And yes, you can certainly do that. Anything else?
No,
Okay, thank you so much. But if they didn't want to fly, I got a question. If they didn't want to fly people in, why did they fly JP in when she was 9 months pregnant? Wouldn't she have been a risk?
Yes.
Where she was considered tangential to the case.
I don't
They
know.
could have done. They could have done her testimony via video.
Are we
Yes.
still going?
Well,
Oh,
Oh,
it
I'm just talking.
ended.
I'm having sidebar. No,
Okay,
don't mind.
we're about to end anyway. Where are we at right now, guys?
We ended
Oh,
it.
We ended it. We finished.
Yeah, let's stop. We're finished. So the next one's gonna be the next day, right?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
still on Jane though.
Okay, so we'll do it the next day. Because I already titled this already the 24th. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks,
Peace.
Sylvia.
Bye, you
No,
guys.
you're welcome. You're
guys.
welcome. You're welcome, Sylvia. Peace and love.
Yeah, make sure y'all come over to the other channel tonight. We're doing our little crazy stuff, right, Terry?
Oh God.
Yeah, we gonna be waiting on you all.
At what time?
Ooh.
10 o'clock at your time, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and 7 o'clock West Coast time.
So those who haven't subscribed to the other channel, please do so. I'm trying to get my 1,000. I don't need it anymore, but whatever. But anyway, thank you, everybody. We'll see
You're
you
welcome.
guys
Thank
on.
you.
No problem. Reading is fundamental.
Blessings all.
Thank you,
Right.
everybody.
Hey, Pat on, bye,
See
Pat
you
on.
guys
Say
again
hi.
on time.
Bye.
Hey, Mimi.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.